Hey, hey, how is it going? I am super excited to be back today. Today, we are talking about the number one reason you are not doing as well in wholesale as you expected. So, if you are joining me today, drop a comment, hashtag live, hashtag replay. I would love to hear who's checking out the video. And let me know if you have tried wholesaling at all. I want to hear if you have wholesaled your products, if you're thinking about it, but you're not sure, or if that's just not something you're even doing. But today we're going to talk about wholesale because it is one of my favorite revenue streams for product-based businesses. Now, I had a potential client shoot me a message the other day because she was getting very frustrated. She was not getting the revenue she wanted. The retail sales weren't so great. And she was like, honestly, she's like, I'm really frustrated with retail. Just all the marketing and social media and everything with it, it's exhausting. And so I asked how her wholesale was going. And she's like, look, wholesale is inconsistent and I don't make as much money with it. So I just don't find it worthwhile. Like it's just not working out for me. And she's like, I'm not thrilled about the retail side and all social media, but like wholesale just doesn't make me the money that I want. And it's too inconsistent. So I'm just not even doing that, which I totally get, completely understandable. So for this client, she was looking for advice on how can I increase my retail sales without having to be the one in the social media. But really, I wanted to address the part of her conversation in relating to wholesale because this is such a common perception on wholesale and how wholesale works. So many makers that are just starting out want to get into wholesale, but are not sure on how to position themselves and take it on. And so discount wholesale before they've even really given it a solid shot. So hello, welcome to my channel. If you have not met me before, my name is Stephanie DeSonier, owner of Business by Design. I work with makers and product-based businesses as a sales and production strategist, helping you to reach your first $50,000 in revenue on your way to your first 6 figures. I do this through sales coaching, marketing, and forecasting dashboards to help you get a plan in place to reach your sales and revenue goals. So, wholesale, the number one mistake that new makers make when it comes, the number one mistake that is made when pursuing wholesale is not maintaining the relationship. Wholesale is an extremely lucrative revenue stream for a product-based business. But the problem is we treat wholesale the way we treat retail, and we don't do consistent, engaged follow-up. Now, when we look at wholesale, you have to remember these people are stocking entire stores. They have a lot to keep track of. So they're not necessarily always going to remember to reach out to you. Even if they do inventory, they might see they're running low on your products. But if it's not enough to trigger any sort of thing because of a high customer demand, they're probably not going to reach out. So when you are endeavoring to enter into the world of wholesale, I want you to treat it like a very active and engaged relationship. This wholesale relationship starts when you first reach out to the owner and talk to them about your products. You want to make sure that you are meeting with them face to face or at least over the phone, talking to them directly about what you have to offer. And then once you sell them the products, you sell and you deliver and it's all great. The relationship doesn't end there. You want to make sure that you are following up on a regular basis because let's be honest, a wholesaler is not going to know if you released a new product line or if you have a new scent coming out. When I owned my business, my wholesalers had no idea that I introduced a whole new bag to my product line unless I told them. And so as you're working with wholesalers, you want to actually schedule out consistent and repetitive engagements to update them on the newest products, the highest demands from customers, your best sellers, and touching base with them on a one-to-one basis to ensure they have everything they need. Hey, I'm just checking in to see how the products are performing for you, to see if you had any questions or if any customer questions came up that you might like some additional information for. We also want to keep in mind wholesale cycles and buying seasons. Wholesalers are shopping this summer for their Christmas products. Wholesalers have already bought all their products for Mother's Day. So as you are building out your wholesale business and your wholesale clients, Keep in mind their buying cycles. They're going to be 6 to 12 months ahead of your retail customers. So you need to make sure that you are in place to support that. If you're not going to be able to get the wholesale contracts that you want because you are off phase with their buying cycle. So wholesale does not have to be scary. It is a really great and really lucrative revenue stream if you know how to do it right. But make sure that you are not only closing that initial wholesale contract, but that you are following up on a regular basis and actively and engagingly selling to them on a regular interval to make sure they stay fully stocked and have the latest and greatest. If you have any questions about wholesale or you want to dive deeper into these conversations, as always, please join me in my free Facebook group, the Handmade Business Collective. Click the link in the description and we can continue on the conversation over there.